rolling?
Yep.
What's good, guys? It's DR3, and welcome to Records on the Road Season 1.
DR3 Music.
Great, like MJ in the 88s. Young boy gotta pay to play. I do this like every day, the harder way. Crossover from good to great. They intent be ugly, but my family love me. They cannot ignore you more. That ceiling is more of your floor. We don't need no cosigns. We doing just fine with no shine. I'm talking no line. They tryna pass the ball, you Marshawn at the goal line with no time. Official chandelier crystals, trying to get a fistful. Black at the fiscal. They say the sky is the limit. I'm past that, the sky just won't admit it.
Well, yeah, Records on the Road. It's a project, like an ongoing project, which I'm able to, as I travel, to be able to, stay creative, work on music, write new music, come up with different things. The cool thing about it is that, some of these tracks, like that particular one was one that I had been sitting on for a while, and I decided to go ahead and write something to it and lay it down while I was in Florida. Some of them are actually, I actually made the whole entire beat and music while I was there. And so there's really no rules, no limits to, what it is. It's just a lot of times on the road, I have most of my free time, and, it's a way for me to just, get out, experience, whether it's the hotel that I'm in, or if I have time to actually go out into the city and just to, stay creative and be on the creative edge. Because when I travel, sometimes is when I have the most bulk of my free time. So, it's cool to be able to, when you travel, you get inspired just by seeing different things that's out of the norm. And so I wanted to take that energy and just be able to convert it into, making these short tracks. Some of them might end up being full songs, some of them may not. It's just something for me to kind of put together. And the cool thing is that a majority of the time I don't know what I'm gonna work on until I get there. And that's part of the fun in it, is seeing it come together in a couple of days while I'm usually traveling. So, alright, so I'm gonna pull up Baltimore. Baltimore was actually the very first one that I did, and started the whole Records on the Road thing. And I'll talk about it a little bit more after I play it, just to get back into the feel of what it was and everything.
Free music.
Is this what life is about? Cars, house, and accounts too loud. With big amounts, they fail to keeping us out. I pray we never lose focus of the most potent reason for life, that's love. So keep the cameras rolling. Never shut it or stud it, make you reconsider. Blood sticker up until you put the liquor in it. Not a sipper, the family's forever winning. Bitter and ready to quit, I guess that's where I differ. They'll be here today and then be gone missing. Inconsistent, so excuse me if I keep my distance. You should've listened, now them feelings got you feeling vicious. Looking around, now those friends all non-existent. No boo, my heart's full and my pockets too. I keep the family close and an honest crew. When you align right, ain't nothing but time, right? Right, we just trying to shine bright.
Cool. So Baltimore was actually happened out. It worked out really dope. We stayed at the Four Seasons in Baltimore, and it took them a while to get my room ready. And somehow, I guess they were just kind of making up for that or whatever. They always try to look out. And they put us in this suite. And the suite was like a penthouse type of setup and everything. And so the whole feel of this track ended up being real, like boss, like just good life type of stuff. And the 2 days that we were there, I went back. I do this periodically. I go back in my tracks and kind of I make a lot of beats. I start a lot of stuff that I may not finish, and so I went back and put up a sample that I had put together a while before I actually put this together, and I was able to add some drums in it, which you saw in the video. Put some drums on it and actually wrote the verse while I was there, just being inspired by my surroundings and different things like that. Definitely one of my favorites. Just highlighting, at the time, I think my daughter was like maybe 3 months old at the time, and so I'm just kind of highlighting just how I was feeling, just real good, and just reflecting on just friendships, family, different things like that. While also just kind of just flowing on the track and just trying to catch a pocket on it and everything. And so that's Baltimore. That was one of my favorite ones, the one that probably went the smoothest as far as the recording process and everything. That was the most organic one, since that's the first one.
You are watching Records on the Road, Season 1.
DRC.
Hear them saying that they single just cause they still grinding. People always throwing shade just where they ain't shining. Up in the sky, getting high in a different way. They used to know me, then I evolved, it's a different day. Just in case you keeping track, I'm jumping over hurdles. I'm getting around, it's only bosses in my circle, yeah. Attractions and distractions, they wanna attack. Matter of fact, tell a prophet that we in the black. When I begin, I'm in the win, I'm a bad sport. Young king defending my crown like a mad court. Yeah, I think we find a better method. A student teaching the lessons, you get the message. 2 up, 2 down, wow, look at me up and down style. Flagrant, throwing the towel, don't mean to be too foul. And if we talking legacy, I got a new edition. But if we talking about me, then this a new edition.
Come on now and talk to me.
Yeah, so even listening to the Baton Rouge joint, I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a feeling in there. I remember the video in Baton Rouge. I had a bull mastiff dog, here in Virginia that I got as a wedding gift from Baton Rouge. And after we had my daughter, we decided to send him back. And so in the video, you saw like the dog and everything in there. So I was able to see him again and kind of reconnect a little bit after had sent him back a few months before that. Keith Ashley on the guitar on that track, so it's something that was a track that I had been sitting on for a while, and I feel the energy that I had in that. I was just trying to just try to push and I don't know if I necessarily would say I'm trying to prove anything with that, but just trying to stay aggressive and with music and everything. And so that's what I hear when I'm on that. Pull up. This is Records on the Road, Seattle, Washington. I forgot the date of this one, but okay. All right, so this is Seattle, Washington, that I'm about to play. This was like the 5th video from the first Records on the Road series. This was from a trip from March 2017. So let's check this one out.
No limits, I'm singing dreams, I'm chasing vision. When you believe in yourself, they hating your religion. Get rid of hidden villains when you building billions. And if you lacking inspiration, do it for your children. I'm talking about advancing, ain't no relaxing. Lately you've been Tom Brady, passing up your passions. Lately I've been like Shady, 40-yard dashing. Got a piece for the dragon, I'ma make it happen. You want it back, you want it bad, you gotta have it. Moali Cox, I'm wreaking havoc till the haters vanish. Hard time dropping baggage, but it's Mason G. Or something Louis taking wins with the double V. I fall back if the vibes ain't right. If every day ain't Friday, then the lights ain't bright. All the stress take its toll in the middle of the night. In easy pass, you know the cons won't fight for real.
So yeah, Seattle was cool in the beginning. The lyrics at the beginning, I'm kind of talking about myself, talking about passing up my passions and everything, even though I'm using the context of you. And like I said, that was around the time where I'm really trying to figure out the balance of life, all the responsibilities I have, just trying to stay in my creative mode. And so the lyrics is in that one, I'm actually challenging myself and just talking about some of those things. So the cool thing and also the scary thing about some of these is that it takes a certain level of vulnerability. And so I like to have stuff polished and everything when I put it out, but the nature of Records on the Road a lot of times is that I'm there for a short period of time, usually 2 or 3 days, and usually not a whole lot of time to do music, but still enough time to kind of get something in, but not weeks and months of working on a project. So Seattle, I actually, it sounds like a rough draft, and it is, and that's why I say, it's some vulnerability that's there to even release stuff like this, but that's the mode that I was in, just being reflective and looking at myself in the mirror and just feeling like I gotta do more, like I gotta stay on top of my game and just really push to push some stuff out, especially musically. So yeah.
You are watching Records on the Road, Season 1.
Okay. Alright, so this is the second video from Records on the Road Season 1. This was the first time I went to Orlando, Florida, which was in October of 2016, early October. So let's check this one out real quick.
You make me feel like God loves me the best. Since I met you, I worry a lot less. Looking in your pretty eyes, can finally dream again. What a wonderful surprise, you came as another win. Forever strong, I hope we get along. Hope you feel okay talking to me when things wrong. This love, I probably couldn't measure. First of many letters, getting better with effort. The little boys you bring home, I'll be seeing through. Getting back to being strapped is what I need to do. Baby girl, I just want you to know. Just believe me when I tell you that you're beautiful.
You are so beautiful.
So Orlando, it's always a cheat code when you you use your kid in a song, but I felt like that one, I let the production lead me on that one, and just sampling, I believe that was Casey Abrams that I sampled right there, and just a song that's written to my daughter, and just trying to, whatever limited experience as a parent that I had at the time, just trying to tap into that a little bit, and that I tried to just kind of show of me. And so my daughter at that time was probably 3 months old, and so of course there's so much balance that's within family and music, especially for me. And you want to put on for your family, you want to be there for them, you want to be a provider, be a good dad, but you also want to make sure you're on the go. And I've talked to different creatives and different artists about that, and one person that's definitely helped me a lot definitely would be like Noah O, and he's talked to me about just that balance with family and music. And so that track, that video just kind of embodies that. And I figured, why not take some of these emotions that I'm feeling. That was Zara's first trip, actually. So that's something that I'm glad to be able to have in the archives. I can go back and remember, like, okay, that's when the first time she flew. The cool thing, I mean, this is crazy, but first time she flew was on a private jet. And that's wild, to be 3 months old, and that's your first flight, your first trip is to Florida. And yeah, it's just dope having that in the archive. So. This is the final video, which was number 6 of Records on the Road season 1. Savannah, Georgia was pretty cool. I didn't really know what was in Savannah, what Savannah was gonna be like, but it was a pretty cool town that I was in. Fun fact about this track before I play it: the sample actually came from Tank's Instagram page, and so he was like singing something around Christmas time and just kind of on his piano singing something, and so I just ripped it off of Instagram and decided to make a Records on the Road with it. So let me play this. So Savannah, Georgia. This was late March of 2017.
Yeah, they trying to count my pockets while I count my blessings. Staying in your lane, that's a major lesson. Never check for second if you know you destined. Dominate the game like McGrady, that's with no expression. Looking around, you in the book for the talk of the town. Choking on the chain smoker, never letting you down. Shake 'em up like Vic, now you want the crown. Throwing the dubs on it, we gon' never drown. 10 toes down, you in your final throws. Pocket full of cream, we gon' never pose. Holding off on the ashes when your light flashes. All the gold, all the hoes, they is all plastic. Candace slim the scammers, so you know they crooked. Never stop pushing, had to get your footing. Gordon Ramsay, how the hands be, we all cooking. Just know you can when you couldn't, that's just how it's looking.
Okay, cool. So being the best version of yourself, in that one, I'm that's the vibe that was definitely there. And the thing about it is that the way you become the best version of yourself, with anything is this, the continued repetitions and just staying at it and continue working at whatever your craft may be. And so that kind of embodies the whole purpose for Records on the Road. That one as well, I was in the video, I remember that's a track that I made while I was actually there in Savannah, and so that's pretty cool. I feel like what's next for me as an artist is I'm at a point now, and it took a while even after the whole first Records on the Road project to finally gain some balance in life. And even through the whole season of Records on the Road, you may have kind of heard me alluding to just balance and appreciating family, balancing friends, and all those different things. And those things kind of stuck with me. Those are things that I was definitely focused on during that time. And just now in 2018, I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm finally pretty balanced and have a good plan of attack in my mind as far as being consistent and just trying to remain creative and do some things. And so Records on the Road going forward, I feel like I want to definitely take it up a notch. I want to most of these videos were shot on an iPhone camera, probably like an iPhone 6 at the time, and so I definitely want to take some of the cinematography up. I want to capture more of the environments and cities that I'm in. A lot of times I try not to be on my phone and on different things while I'm experiencing life, while I'm in a new city, around new things and new environments. But for the purpose of Records on the Road, I feel like I have to be a little bit more intentional. Like, when I'm traveling to these different places, I definitely want to give the viewer or the listener a better view of or a better feel of where I'm at and the emotions and just how everything kind of is. Because most of the time that's going to affect how I record on the track and how the music that I select or the music that I make. So, I just think that Records on the Road going forward, I want to knock the visuals up a notch and definitely just be more intentional, not only with my lyrics but with the music. So I'm excited for Records on the Road and where it's going to go. I think it's a really dope concept. And it definitely challenges me. This is more challenging than having an unlimited amount of time to work on music. Giving yourself a few days or however long you're wherever you're at to be creative and come up with something, and then the confidence to be able to put it out, no matter, you know, how I feel about it, whether I feel like I'm gonna make this into an actual song or whether this is just a little rough draft. I'm just trying to sharpen my skills a little bit. So I'm excited. You know, Records on the Road 2 is going to be definitely something that you want to check out, because we're going to take it up a notch. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed going through Records on the Road Season 1 with me. Hope I was able to give you some good background and context of those different tracks and places that I traveled. Definitely stay tuned for Season 2 of Records on the Road. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to be up to date with those things. And so I release them on my Instagram first. And so you want to follow me there at DR3Music. You can also follow me on Twitter at the same, at DR3Music. Follow We A Bet at WeABetX, and also stay tuned to We A Bet site at weabet.com. And so stay tuned for Season 2. Make sure you don't miss it. And yeah, checking out DR3.